Hello, hello, and good evening. It is Kitchen Counter Oracle with a little bit of a channeling for Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, South Node, Stellium. You know your chart. This is either for you, it's for the cross watcher. You know your place in the story. You know the people you're dealing with. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And as a bajillion readers on this here app, take what resonates and leave the rest of it alone. Capricorn, I have some very disgruntled energy for you. It's very angry, very bitter, because I can't have what I want, no one else can either type of deal. And I was getting something surrounding a baby. This could be a woman with fertility issues, struggling to conceive, or there just very well may be a condition why she can't. All I know is she's very bitter, very upset. She likes to cause bad news because she doesn't get the news she wanted to hear, that type of thing. And I'm also getting this person is very, very religious. And I'm going to be brutally honest. Mailer got the itch. Sawing logs at my feet. So a little confirmation there with the sound bite. Women, if you come from a very conservative background, women are taught to be wives and mothers and some type of homemaker literally the moment they are born. So believe me when I say the concept of marriage and motherhood especially, like that should be their biggest achievement in life. Got married, boom. Next step, motherhood. Now, there's a lot of realistic hopes and promises because the church loves to preach, this is your road to happiness. Only problem is it takes time reveals that their husbands are children themselves in the mind. And it's just, I don't want to deal with that. But when a woman is struggling to conceive a baby, this is like, I wouldn't know. I'm not planning to conceive anytime soon. And it's not that I don't like kids and don't want kids. I have struggled to find a suitable partner. Suitable as in a man that understands the duties and responsibilities that are required of him as a husband. And I cannot personally be with somebody who is just insufferably childish. I can't do it. Because I want to be married to a man, a whole man, mind, body, spirit, grown up adult male. So when I have somebody with the emotional IQ of a 12-year-old, I am immediately turned off. Well, my mom was this, my mom that. I don't care. I'm not your mother. Raise yourself like your mom should have raised you. Because I'm not raising a husband and kids, and that's just boo boo boo. When a woman is struggling to conceive a child, like just conception period, because for some it's not a matter of conceiving, it's the ability to carry the child to term. And then for some it's conception as a whole, like they just cannot conceive and they don't understand why, and it makes them feel worthless as a woman because they are like, this is their identity, this is what they are biologically created to do, and they can't even do the one thing they're created to do. Now, sometimes you're just genuinely with the wrong person, and God is trying to tell you this. Or the woman is just so mean-spirited at heart The last thing the world needs is a mini her. Because if the mom is a mean girl, I promise you, that does not stop in high school. It carries on. And then you have the women who we were, like, if you were like me, you were raised, like, you were not brought up to have a career. You were brought up to be a woman that ran her business and stuff like that. The man is the provider. He pays all the bills. He provides the house, the cars, the clothes, the money to go get your hair done, and so on down that line. And the truth is, I know like maybe one or two that can actually fulfill that end of the bargain. Because one thing I know that makes a lot of traditional women a little on the angry and upset side is they can't have the life they were quote unquote promised. There's not enough funds coming in. It's too expensive. Childcare is ridiculous. And it's not it's per child. Like, so if you have 3 kids and all of them are in daycare, that is a fee and or tuition per head. Because there's some folks I know, they pay almost a mortgage a month in childcare. Because like the father and their hubby makes enough to pay the bills and the mortgage and stuff like that. But the wife has to go back to work. Like, her money ends up going to the daycare, but she works for the health insurance. That kind of thing. And I bet y'all hear my pups sawing some logs down here on the floor. But yeah, it just makes a lot of the girls upset because it's just, this isn't what we were made it to be. This isn't what we were promised. Boop, 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 boop. Because when you were in a more progressive area, they don't care about a woman's ability to conceive, how many kids she's going to have. It's mainly these super traditional, conservative areas like the town I grew up in. When are you getting married? How many children are you going to have? And it's none of your business. When a woman is struggling to have a baby, shut up. Leave her alone. Because there was a former colleague of mine. There was a fertility clinic in the same office space building that I used to work in. And on her lunch, she would have appointments at that office. She had her appointment card had fallen out of her pocket and stuff like that. And I picked it up and I saw I had her name and stuff like that on it. I didn't say anything to her. I just was like, hey, you dropped this. And I left it at that. When I handed her that card, she looked at me like I was the devil. And it's like, okay, here we go. You're going to be one of those because you're not getting your way. Cappy, I know when Capricorn energy is morbidly distorted, y'all will slime anybody out to get your way. And I mean anybody. Y'all take it to the 6th ring of hell. And on top of that, y'all are massive control freaks. Like, it's your way or the highway. And it's like, it's up for debate. Who's the bigger control freak? Scorpio, Leo, or Capricorn? Whatever lie you gotta tell, you tell it. Whatever trap you gotta set, you set it. And there's gonna come a day and time where that all comes and slaps you full throttle in the face. You might win a few battles, but you're not going to win that war. I'm not saying this to be ugly. I'm just saying it's because of the truth. Because, I mean, Capricorns, when you've got them healthy in the upright, they make the best business partners. But at the same time, it's just one of the, like, it's a... Some Capricorn placements take the fact that their planet is Saturn, aka karma, a little too seriously, and they think they get to be people's karma. They can decide karma, and so on down that line. And karma for that ends up being a Scorpio, like myself. Because you're going to fuck around and you're going to find out. I ain't playing with you either. Because this former colleague I just mentioned, she was one of the biggest snakes in the office. In fact, she was like, I've yet to meet a Capricorn. These two that I've dealt with, they were Capricorn suns. I haven't dealt with Capricorn moon or rising yet. I mean, I think another of my colleagues has a moon or a rising in Capricorn. I just cannot remember who. But Capricorn suns, I've dealt with them in the past, and it never went good for those people in the long haul. Because I was the one, quote unquote, sent to humble their butts. There's going to be a day and time where you or the cross watcher is going to be sent someone to humble you. And if this is a Capricorn moon or a rising I'm picking up on, if you haven't been humbled yet, you about to, and your ego is going to take a massive hit if it hasn't already done so. Now, this energy is very codependent on others for success. The person you may be trying to mess with is naturally independent. They were left to figure things out for themselves, and it sounds like somebody is mad they figured things out. But it's all fun and games until you cross paths with somebody who's naturally gifted and they said, all right, bet, I see you. FIFO. If somebody here is trying to think like they're God, they can choose who deserves to be blessed, who doesn't deserve to be blessed, and so on down that line, expect God himself to put you in your place. Because I promise you, the minute that green light gets given, there is a bullseye on your back. And that's what you get for fucking around and finding out. Because we're now in the find out stage of fuck around. Gossip, slander, would not recommend it. This whole, I'm going to ruin your life because I'm not getting what I want. Yeah, that has a consequence. Now the thing is this. You have to be in the correct to avoid God's wrath. The question is, are you correct? Because just because you think you are does not mean you are. So this could very well be a Bible thumper. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a Christian and stuff like that, but when you are weaponizing the Bible to wreak mayhem in a person's life because they're different from you and whatnot, Lord help you. Because the curses you wish for another, you are going to receive yourself. And until you learn this part of the lesson, don't expect any type of blessing. Contracts you wanted to get to increase your business, you're not going to get them. You'll make enough to pay your bills and that's it. And there's another Capricorn placement out here on some moon magic bullshit, trying to route this and fix that and boot, 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 boot. All I know is God sees the theft taking place, and he's not happy about it. Spiritual court is in session, and guess what? The odds are not in your favor, whoever you are. And with that, I am moving on. Everyone have a good evening.